This is Denise with Lotus Photography, and I am doing a quick tutorial on white balance. Now, I pretty much go just by my eyes. I used to use color checkers quite a while ago, but I don't do so much anymore because I feel like I've learned quite a lot about white balance working with pretty high key clients and lots of editors, and you know, they pretty much know what white balance is and what looks good. And I've had to learn the hard way, starting off where my white balance was completely off most of the time, and I started reading and studying a lot about white balance. But anyway, so this quick tutorial is just showing it's a white balance for dummies kind of thing, okay? Just using the temp and tint here in Lightroom. This is all you really need to correct white balance, as well as using my saturation panel, and I'm going to show you exactly how. So for the sake of this tutorial, these are actually a couple of outtakes that I had. I needed to get some pictures and I back everything up, so everything's on my hard drive. These happen to be in my actually my trash bin, so I retrieved them for this tutorial. So what I'm going to do here real quick, I'm just going to fix it up just a little bit and bringing up the highlights just a tiny bit, just my shadows, a little bit blacks in here. These are just like some of my standard editing. Okay, so I'm going to bring the exposure up quite a bit here. Oops, not that much. Let's say around here is good for me. Now, obviously, this picture is super orange, and what am I going to fix? So if you look at the temperature, obviously, it is very, very orange, okay? So I am going to bring this down, and I'm going to tell you when. So I just eye the skin color to make sure. So does that look right? No, that's still even too orange. Even though everything is turning really, really blue, I'm going to show you what I'm going to do next. But let's see here. So that looks, nope, still a little blue for me. Okay, I am very much about skin color, so that looks pretty good to me. But now you can see the problem here. This white screen is now blue as well. So there's a few ways we can fix this. I'm just going to bring in a little bit of the whites in here, and be careful with the skin, because sometimes, look, what can happen? It can totally blow out the face. So use this sparingly. I'm going to use this at about 36 right now. Now, with this being so blue, I'm looking around. There's no logo here that is blue. Okay, there's nothing significant except for this little light here and these water bottles that are blue. So I don't care if I lose some of that blue in there. So I'm going to just basically grab this little thing. I'm going to click on the area that is blue, and I'm going to just click on it and pull down, okay, with my finger. So you don't have to do it all the way, but I'm just going to do it right around here for this, okay? So now that is a pretty major difference in the image. So let me show you. Let's see here. Okay, so done. So let's see what I did here. So let's see the before and after. Obviously, that is a pretty big, significant difference, okay, in terms of white balance. And that was just a simple, didn't take me even 2 minutes to do. So moving on, let's go to a different image. This picture here is obviously a little bit too purple, okay? And an easy way to check the white balance is to find whites in the image. So I can tell this was white, and obviously it is purple right now. So what is opposite from purple? Green. And so this is magenta here. So the first thing I'm going to do is, I'll go ahead just to show you, I'm going to be just doing a little bit of editing here. I'm not doing anything very detail oriented. I'm just basically playing with it 2 minutes. Okay, here we go. Bringing the exposure up just a little bit because my look is definitely very bright. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do is bring down the blues. Now you can tell that that's obviously making the image even more purple rich. So now what's the opposite from that tone is green. So I'm going to bring in the greens just a little bit. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to make it just a tiny bit warmer for right now. Okay, so now the skin tone definitely looks a lot better. However, I am not so crazy about this still being a little bit grayish purple. So I am going to be playing with my whites to see if I can bring that up a little bit. And obviously, again, you have to be very careful with the skin So use this sparingly. I think that right around here is okay. Maybe I bring down the highlights just a tiny bit. And again, you can desaturate this part just a little bit. Obviously, you can see that this is full of blue and purple as that is going down when I'm dragging this. So to me, that makes the image look a lot better. Again, I'm just doing this super quick so that I can show you guys what I do, okay? Let's see the before and after. Let's see if I can see it before and after. All right, so that is a pretty good difference. Not only does this look pretty flat to me and boring, but this looks a lot livelier. Obviously, the whites are a little bit too high here. I normally would not play with this more than maybe 25, but I'm just showing you a kind of exaggerated version of this. Okay, so this looks pretty good to me. Okay, that is a big difference. So basically, when the image is too orange or yellow, you want to bring down the blues and just go increment by increment. If it's too purple, you want to bring in some greens, and if it's too green, you want to bring in some purples, and start playing with this, you know, and you start really perfecting the image. When there's a really odd white balance in a room or is super saturated with one color, try and avoid contrast as much as possible. If anything, you can adjust the blacks manually, but you want to try and avoid contrast too much, because contrast does saturate pictures. So unless it's like a perfect day, like, I don't know, this day was pretty good, where my contrast is pretty high, because it's okay if it gets a little saturated. But when there's terrible lighting, that's just going to make the picture look more awful. So anyway, that's my little quick tutorial on white balance. It's really just like a white balance for dummies if you're just starting off. There's many techniques on correcting white balance. You have this dropper tool, you have lots of other tools that you can use. However, I find that just learning to look with my eyes and not have the computer think for me, it develops a skill that I can use all the time for anything, for any creative or colorful project. It's just about developing an eye, and that is what photography is about. Developing an eye. We can have all these tools and technology to use, but developing our eye is going to help us so much for our own sake, and just being able to edit things without having to use all these things that, you know, basically things for you. Okay, so hope you like this tutorial. If you enjoy it, please subscribe to my channel. I am going to be updating lots of other things, and if there's a specific topic that you would like me to share, please put it below in the comment, and I will be making some videos soon. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks.